Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more interesting stories like these. Now, let's get into today's story video. AITA for calling out my kid's future stepmom for treating me like a surrogate. I, 29 female, dated Joe, 30 male, for 3 months before he abandoned me in order to reunite with his ex-girlfriend Kim, 28 female, 30 female. I found out I was pregnant soon after we divorced, and I'm presently 24 weeks along in the process. He was ecstatic when I told him what I'd done. His fiancée was discovered to be suffering from reproductive issues and would most likely never be able to conceive naturally, despite the fact that he has always desired to be a father. For both of us, getting back together was out of the question, which is why he is still with his girlfriend. Joe was only allowed to accompany me to the first appointment due of COVID-19, and it was then that we found I was carrying twins. Kim, according to Joe, had a mental breakdown as a result of her infertility and wanted to talk with him. Kim indicated a desire in being involved in my pregnancy, since she would eventually become the children's stepmother when I saw them at their house, and we spoke about it for a while. In the course of our conversation, she informed me that I should have a home birth, that I should formula feed so that she and her husband could have the kid half the week, that she preferred one boy and one girl, and that the child should address her as mamas, since they would be calling me mommy. In my departure, I said that I would make the best choices for my children, as well as for my physical health. Kim continued to be demanding, sending me daily emails about my eating and exercise habits, as well as complaining about how her employer wouldn't allow her to take maternity leave. Rather than Joe, she accompanied him to the virtual genetics counseling session and quickly took over the conversation by trying to talk about her family history, which was completely irrelevant. When it came time for my level 2 scan at 20 weeks, I was only allowed one visitor, and Joe proposed that I bring Kim instead of him, which I rejected. Joe did arrive there, and he was the one who found the gender, since I wanted to keep it a surprise for myself so that we could have a gender reveal party later. I publicized my pregnancy on social media, and she responded with a post announcing that they were having twins in a non-traditional way and how fortunate she was to be a mother. I was enraged, but I managed to keep my mouth shut. She then had a gender reveal party and posted images of the event on social media to commemorate the occasion. I wasn't even asked whether I wanted to participate. She also revealed that she was planning a baby shower for her daughter. Her comments prompted a response from me in which I told her to stop treating me like a surrogate, that the children were not hers, and that Joe had no legal or physical custody of them until the children were born. I immediately phoned Joe and informed him that I would not be seeing any of them until after we had gone to family court and that my mother would be my birthing partner in the meantime. It seems that he and Kim, along with some of her friends and family, are labeling me as a jerk. Her mother has even called and asked that I give her one of my children, as if this were the parent trap. So, how do you feel about AITA? Edit. I'm absolutely going to hire a lawyer as soon as possible. You guys frightened the out of me, but I'm glad you did. Update 1. I never considered the possibility that this was done on purpose. We used condoms since I don't like chemical birth control and had to wait for a non-hormonal IUD due to other medical difficulties. I went to the police on the Thursday I posted this, and they told me there was nothing they could do since no crime had been committed. Orders of protection in my state are either criminal or family-based, so I was able to get one against Joe. On Friday, I hired a lawyer who informed me that there was nothing I could do in my state about custody before the twins were born. Therefore, I will be leaving shortly to guarantee that this isn't my baby's home state, and I won't be charged with anything. However, someone sent this article to Kim, who came to my workplace, destroyed my vehicle, and shattered a number of office windows. Because I deal with children, she was arrested not just for criminal damage and trespassing, but also for child endangerment, which hopefully will work in my favor. Also, if Joe did it on purpose, I don't believe Kim knew since she was yelling at me about how I stole her life and that everything I had was meant to be hers. Update 2. I have protection orders against both Kim and Joe. I left the state nonetheless, and Joe and Kim began harassing me again since there is no legal jurisdiction when you leave the state, but I have enough evidence to prosecute charges in my current state as well, and I will be seeking a restraining order here. Story 2. AITA for threatening to file a police report on my ex and getting her former cop father involved. I purchased 2 games, Mario Kart 8 and FF7 Remake, on Black Friday, but they were sent to my ex's house by mistake due to an Amazon mix-up. She notified me a few days ago that a present for me had arrived. I apologized for the misunderstanding and requested her to send it to me when she had a chance. She agreed and promised to deliver it by the end of the week. I received the gift, however one game was missing. Hey, I didn't see FF7 here. Will it be released separately? Nope. You get to purchase it again! 3. Haha, okay, but is it truly in a different package? Nope. It's my remuneration for assisting you. Okay, all joking aside, you're mailing it, aren't you? Complete silence. Hello. Are you sure you're mailing it? I receive a phone call from someone who asks whether I'm upset. If she's serious, I'll be there. She becomes defensive and sleazy in her attempt to keep the game going. I'm doing my utmost to persuade a 30-year-old lady of the definition of stealing, and I've reached my limit. Her father is a wonderful guy who has a nice connection with me, and he regrettably needs to function as her moral compass at times, so I ask, do I really need to include your father in order for you to do the right thing? As if I'm dealing with a 14-year-old. You'd never get my father involved in this. I quickly hung up and dialed her father's number. The poor man was as nice as a peach, pleased to hear from me, asking how the weather is doing us in Pennsylvania, and I had to cut through the pleasantries to inform him that his daughter had just committed a federal felony by opening mail intended to me and stealing some of its contents. He used to be a policeman. His tone becomes low and despondent, and he says he'll speak to her later. I apologized for drawing him into this and offered to meet up with him later. I completed the police report, but did not submit it while waiting for her to contact me back. God, if you're going to make such a huge fuss about your dumb precious stupid video game, I guess I'll mail it to you, she says in typical form. You're not going to make me the bad guy because I'm unhappy about you checking my mail and stealing from me. Not going to happen. Fine, I'll mail it to you provided you apologize for bothering me. Get, I shouted in full my father style. You can either transmit it to me or I may push the send button on this police report. She panicked and gave in. So, was it a mistake to pull her father in and go nuclear? Could I have handled the situation better? I'm sure, but I'm suppressing a lot of feelings here. Is it possible that I become too threatening too quickly? If you made it this far, thank you. Perhaps it was worthwhile of your time. Edit. Yes, I did erase the Amazon address info I offered to pay postage, because we live very far away now, PA in Maine, but she wanted $30 for the return, which wasn't happening in retrospect. Going straight to the authorities would still have gotten her father involved, because she lives with him and he basically handles all of her adult responsibilities. As a result, the AITA is more or less, should I file a police complaint or leave it alone? Which one would force me to TA? Update. Hello, everyone. I decided I'd give you guys an update on the end of that ridiculous tale from previously. I did, in fact, reclaim my things, and my ex became helpful and weirdly submissive, rather than bitter. I'm ready to assume it was because of her father, but I'm not 100% certain. Maybe the lady I thought I married is hidden behind all that untreated BPD and narcissism. I'm not holding my breath, lol. This, along with a similar incident we had immediately before the mail scam, soured me on trying to keep things civil, since it plainly had no impact. The game was still sealed in its original packaging, with no evidence of alteration. I opened it up, and everything seemed to be in excellent condition. I contacted the parent and expressed my heartfelt gratitude. I gave him a present for doing the right thing and putting up with this quarrel, as suggested by several of you in the previous article, so thank you for that. I still have his PayPal, so it was only cash, but I'm confident the message got through. Do nice and you will be rewarded. In any event, as a thank you for dropping by, I thought I'd show you some pictures of the finished product, so here you go. Thank you for your assistance and insight from the previous article.